This one, Edgar Allan Poe, really distinctive. He has this extreme chart. It's not quite a bowl because it's over more. It's not quite a bundle. It's actually a bowl, but it's all the planets on one side. But they're all dark colors. There's no bright or light colors in Edgar Allan Poe. He was the Capricorn, Sun and Mercury in Capricorn, and but he had his Pisces moon conjunct Pluto, Venus, and Jupiter. He could follow his emotions and write things that would scare himself. But he had a really strong social consciousness with these dark colors. When I saw this, I thought, this is so incredible. It's so vivid expression of his attitudes and how distinct they are from other people. In our set, this is from 1809, but in our century, we had bundle chart built up during the warriors, but it was all in the self-centered yellow, bright color. His stuff is really totally different than, say, the Beatles, which was, okay. Then we have Baha'u'llah, another mystic. This is you see this chart. He was one of the founders of Baha'i, a very persecuted religion in Iran. They believed the follower was the beginning, was the next Muhammad or the next visionary after Christ, Muhammad, then the Bab. But he has you can see the bucket chart here with Mars, the handle. Karl Marx, Sun and Moon in Taurus. You see the red, you see, this is a seesaw chart. With a bunch of planets there with two empty areas. But you can see the color of the red coming in with this Sun and Moon in Taurus. You have the red orange really distinctively, blatantly in this chart. So okay, here's Jules Verne. Now Jules Verne has a huge amount of water. He has his Venus in Pisces, Saturn in Cancer, the Moon and Jupiter and Mars all in Scorpio. Is Mars in Scorpio? No, Mars is in Sag. So Moon and Jupiter in Scorpio. So you put these in water signs. His ability to write and talk about emotions like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or just he had emotional judgment, but his is a bucket chart, a bucket chart with a handle with Saturn. Accomplishment, trying to accomplish things, and but you could see the water prevalence in this chart very strongly. But still, it's still dark socially. The implications of social consequences. It's more dealing with responsibilities and how people survive this or that. It's not so much about the independent adventures. So I'm just rambling, but there's a lot of these we can go through. And okay, Jules Verne. Here's Helen Blavatsky, one of the Theosophists. She started was really one of the inspiring people of Theosophy. She had inspiration. She's an eccentric lady. She's born in Russia, and she was born in 1831. But she was her own person. She was a teacher. She would do readings and seances. She'd go into mystical things. She would smoke cigars, walk along the street. She was very unique, but she was the Leo. She had her way with the Moon in Libra, but she had a visionary way of seeing things and presented her teachings out and made them come out in a way that nobody's seen for years. It was so inspiring, and she really found it was one of the founders of, I don't know if technically the founder, but certainly the inspirational founder of Theosophical Society. Mark Twain. So Mark Twain, it's interesting. When I did his chart, he was born when Halley's Comet came. So he wrote a book called Off on a Comet, but he often said he'll die when it comes back. He says, I was born when it came, he'll die when it came. And he did. When Halley's Comet came back 84 years later, he died. And so his book, Off on a Comet, he always saw he came in on the comet, he left on the comet. That was one of his special inspirations. But he had the Sag's nature, so many stories of adventures and traveling with the Moon and Aries. People love his stories. But he had the he had the bucket chart with Pluto in Cancer as the handle. Is that right? No, that can't be. That's Jupiter as the handle. With Jupiter, the traveling, the teaching, the writing. Jupiter handle, yeah. So I used to feel if you had your chart up and you just saw it, it's going to teach you on its own. You're going to see things in the colors and see things. Even if you knew nothing about astrology, you're seeing your own pattern, your own color perspective, your own balances. This is what's normal. These colors would be what's normal for him. When he starts, you get a marriage couple, and you see the color of both charts, you instantly get a sense of how the trade-offs go. Abdul Baha'i, this is one of the founders of the Baha'i religion too. He had the ball chart. Oh, is it within the ball? No, it might have to be considered a bucket. But in any case, he has most of his planets on the one side. It's the Leo moon. What's the Gemini with the Leo moon? Very independent, very bright colors. But he presented new ideas and new teachings. The new ideas were so radical that the religion they set up, he was persecuted. These guys were persecuted, trying to be killed, arrested, and really difficult lives. But people who met them were totally inspired and impressed by them in the Muslim world. Annie Besant, another theosophist, and she has the seesaw chart here, and really 60 degrees. 60. It could be this way, it could be this, it would be this way. Yeah, she's a Libra with a Cancer moon. So it's not, I just wanted to see a bunch of these charts rather than me trying to talk about them. I'm just talking off the top. Sigmund of George's chart, who we did. When I first saw his chart with all the red, all his planets mostly in the red colors with the one planet on the other side. And this is the bucket chart. That one planet is Mars. It's retrograde and it's in Libra, so it's not highly accentuated, but it really is accentuated by pattern chart. His whole theory about how everyone's relationships, everything's around Freudian and sexual complexes. You can see how he would process like that. Yeah, the reason these pictures are like this is I had slides made of these charts, and then the slides had a certain quality. When they converted the slides to MP3s and changed them over, they lost a bit more of their pixels. So Rudolf Steiner, another mystic, inspired. He was the Pisces, and okay, this was an incorrect chart. I puzzled about this chart for a long time because I liked his writings. He's a very deep, inspired person, very Piscean, but I could never relate to the social Libra moon. And it was bothering me for a long time. Finally, I went to a lecture and heard someone who worked on his chart who was into this, and I found out that the time that was given out for Rudolf Steiner was incorrect, and they had it was a day and a half earlier, and it put the moon in Virgo, so he was born on the full moon. And like Goethe, who was the Virgo with the Pisces moon, was analyzing the unanalyzable. So did he. He had the analytical side and the mystical side, and had the awareness to do it. His chart is the seesaw. Swami Vivekananda, another yogi. A lot of Capricorn yogis get into self-control, and they took that indigo Capricorn energy inward and held it inwardly. It's the Capricorn with Libra and wanted to share his ideas, but you really see the dark responsibility, the serious, the control, the discipline as a factor in his life. He was not a frivolous person. And his chart is a seesaw. Oh, wait a second, 60 degrees. Yeah, it could be this way. It could be this. So his chart would be considered a splay chart. H.G. Wells. He's got a splash chart. There's 2 empty areas, but none of them are as big as a square. This is all, he goes out in all directions. He had multifaceted perceptions. He was the Virgo with Aquarius moon. He wrote about a lot of things. He was really known as a historian more than anything else, which is, some people know for his more sci-fi writing as opposed to his historical material. But now this is Mahatma Gandhi, and his chart is a seesaw chart, 2 sides. He's the Libra with the Leo moons. We see the yellow and the green coming in on it. Nikolai Lenin, you remember we did, who do we have? Was it Marx we did? Karl Marx, yeah. Karl Marx and all the red. We get to